this instrument that he was playing, and he started playing this corruption to the angels that was there. And the angels that was listening to his music while he was playing it, they became disfigured and corrupted by his music. They started changing disfigured forms.
And these were not just single entities. We're actually talking about
Angelic beings.
Angelic empires.
Yes.
Gods that fell with him.
Yes. So, but he was playing his music, and how he was playing his music, it was different instruments that he played that caused confusion, and it caused them to turn into different kind of forms and shapes, and it corrupted them basically with this music that he was playing. And in so way, Jesus came and he saw this whole thing that was going on, and when he was there and he approached him and he was like, what is all this? And Satan started looking at the other angels and he's like, brothers, come with me, he's lying to us, and he's manipulating us, and come to me, we'll start our own thing. And as Jesus approached him, his presence was so strong and it kind of pushed him out of heaven. You know?
Jeez.
And as Jesus walked towards him, he spoke to Michael and he's like, come brother, come with me.
Yes.
Trust me, you know, you have to trust me. And from there onwards, obviously as Jesus moved out, they were pushed out of heaven.
Yes.
All of them were pushed out of heaven.
Wow.
And some of the angels that was left, they cried because there was a great loss, you know.
Yes.
Because all of them that already started following him, that was manipulated by his music and obviously the things that he told them, they all fell with him because they had a change of heart.
Yes.
Because they couldn't handle the judgment of the presence of Jesus, because it pushed them out of heaven.
Wow. So it goes back to the question you asked me about what separates us from Lucifer or the elder race. Like the inspiration, these guys that wrote movies and stories like Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia, there's the character of the elven race, which appears to be a higher type of race, maybe more intelligent than us, the elven race. So this is actually drawn from the inspiration of the prodigal son with the elder brother in the house. So the elven race would then be the eldest son in the family of God. So Lucifer was a son in the house. This is why it was so painful and so intimate, his rebellion. He was a son. He was in a sense like the elder brother. But what sets us apart, what makes us unique from them, is that we touched a part of the Father's heart that they haven't.
Right.
The reunion between the father and the prodigal son is it's an emotional level, or it touches a level of emotion. It goes into a deeper space of the Father's heart, which they are not familiar with, which they cannot understand, even though they are in the house of God. So Lucifer was a son of God in the house.
Yes.
And the level of intimacy that we have with the Father, and the fact that the Son of God came to redeem us, that his blood was shed for us, this sets us apart and makes us unique in a sense.
Yes.
As compared to the elder race, or the elder brothers or sisters in the house of God. So we're not talking about angels in a sense here. We are talking about sons of God. It's a lot more intimate. It's a family issue.
Right. So then heaven was never made to have any protection against anyone, right? There wasn't any soldier like angels or angels that was those how can I say soldiers and
yes, there are different ranks, orders, species.
Yes. So it was never meant to be like that, because heaven was a place of peace. It was a place of rest, eternal rest. But obviously now, since someone rebelled against the house, they need to be kept out of the house. So there has to be security and whatnot.
And a manifest son of God cannot live in heaven. It's incompatible. Just like Jesus coming back in his glorified form, this plane of reality is incompatible with that end product, which we would refer to as the singularity, which man is marching towards. So just in the same way, a manifest Son of God cannot live in heaven. It's incompatible. And I know that's going to upset a lot of people, but it's just the way it is.
Right.
There's an incompatibility.
Yes, so getting back to what I wanted to mention was, so then the angels, they, stood with God, and obviously there was a great loss because some of their brothers and sisters was, they were lost through the corruption through Lucifer, and so they had to form ranks like Michael and all the other archangels and certain beings that decided, okay, fine, this is what God is doing now with the human beings like us, and some of them decided it is the greatest honor to serve
Yahweh.
in helping us
yes,
to grow into knowing him. So Lucifer's sole purpose is to basically turn us away from God,
yes,
or against God, because he hates us,
yes,
because we look like him.
He's a defected son of God.
Yes.
That's why these false prophets and apostles going around, they are imitating their leader.
Yeah,
they are acting and behaving
sad.
as defected sons.
It's so sad. It's really, really sad.
And like you mentioned, what he was also explaining about how this angel was telling him, or was it Jesus or an angel that was explaining to him how these ministers or these false prophets, or whatever you want to call them, defected sons of God. I like to use that term because when you say false prophet, we say this, it's loose terms we're throwing around that we need to actually add proper definitions to. So let's call them defected sons of God. Workers of iniquity, as the Bible would say. You were telling me this angel is being, or Jesus was explaining to him how they actually get the power to heal and how they get the power to do these miracles and all of that stuff.
Yeah, so some of them, like, oh my gosh, there's now a whole new thing that he explained in the vision that he got, that is now apart from the one where Lucifer fell. So he then explained there was another fall in heaven where the angels started to sleep with women.
Yes.
And that's where the Anunnaki,
the watchers,
where those spirits came in. And it's so interesting because they also were seated in their own ranking, right? They also had some kind of, what now?
Gone the wrong way. Yeah, their own.
They also had their own kind of thrones, if I should put it that way, because they were ruling in such. The watchers. They had to watch over us, to teach us and help us to basically like growing the earth, Instead of doing that, they wanted to
they wanted to usurp the dominion of Adam, the son of man. They were jealous. They wanted dominion of the creature.
They founded us so fascinating, but then they wanted to be like us. And because we didn't have the knowledge that we should have at the time, because we were still growing into becoming who God has called us to be,
the singularity.
They used that to create their own DNA.
Yes.
And that God never intended anything like that to happen. So that's why their sons was rejected. So according to what he said, like when their children was born, they were apparently so beautiful and they were so majestic looking.
And we pale in comparison to what the original human looked like.
Yes.
And that is just from the line of Adam. That is the old creation. Imagine what we are going to look like.
Yes. So in that case, so they all eventually, when God came and He told them, I told you, I gave you a mission, and you go and you went and you caused iniquity by sleeping with the daughters, with the women in the earth. And now, like, it was like a whole thing that they did. So I feel this thing is on me right now.
It's been on you for the whole time.
And it makes it even more difficult for me to explain. But yeah, so they were like, when they were judged, obviously there was a lot of other, like that whole department of what they were part of, it fell because God didn't want their system in place anymore. So not all of them are evil.
Not all of them are
Some
evil, yes.
of them are roaming in the earth and they are still helping us, but they're trying to find a way to function. But the only way how they can function now is through our help.
Yes.
As we discover our way to God, or
Do you think it's a possibility we could actually bring a restoration? Because the Passion Translation, the Passion Translation, which is he translated to Ephesians 1, 10, 11, very interestingly, he says the restoration of all things. So I know this, there's a doctrine that talks about complete restoration of which sort of, it's not quite purgatory,
right,
but where hell's going to become redeemed. Okay, so it's not necessarily meaning that, but it's a restoration of all things that are lost, that have not been completely condemned.
Yes.
Or
Yes. They're waiting their time.
Yes.
They're waiting out their time. But their time is not yet, and it still needs to be determined based on what we are now doing and what we're coming to. So they are actually, they never rebelled against God, but they were part of that system that God, cut off from His.
Yes, listen to this. We're gonna judge angels. You remember angelos? The Bible doesn't specifically tell us what an angel is. It just says messenger.
Yes.
We're going to judge angels. We're going to judge kingdoms, empires. Now, we think in the Protestant world, because everything's about protesting, we're going to judge the angels and they're going to be condemned to hell. What happens to that judgment also means we are going to judge some of them right back into the kingdom.
Yes.
We're going to judge them correctly.
It's almost like we're going to stand in... It's almost like we're going to stand...
a righteous judgment.
Pray for them, or praying for them. It's very similar to that. But
it's almost like an intercession, in a way.
Yes. But I actually wanted to touch on the subject of, yes, they all fell, and some of them are here, and that's where apparently there's a being. It's also a phoenix. So this one was part of the resurrection of...
Yes. The phoenix is a very fascinating creature. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's got a negative connotation to it because of the occult.
Yes.
Yeah, carry on.
But he is also here in the earth. He's not in a fallen state. He's still with God. But he is trying to find his place back, to find how can I say, like a station where he will function.
Yes, so we could judge him back into his rightful place in the kingdom.
Yes, but God is focusing on us first.
Obviously, yes.
Because He wants to get things back in order again. But the only way to do it right is to wait out the time. He doesn't want to lose anything precious to Him. So we have to wait the time out for things to be established in order for it to be perfect.
Yes.
That's why our hearts are being purified. He removes everything that causes separation from Him. But it takes time to get to that place.
That's right.
And some of these angels, they are helping us.
Some of them are helping us.
Yes, some of them, some people that have they have entered into, they've activated their healing.
Yes, they've
activated their,
true. You see, this is maybe answers what I was trying to figure out, because it came to me that there was a missing element that it goes a lot more deep and more intimate than just operating in Kundalini and false demonic entities that do miracles. But these defected sons of God, and I said the angel falls with them. So maybe you've given me a missing puzzle to get a better understanding of that, is because the angel fell with them. It's these angels that are sort of I wouldn't say in a place of neutrality, but they're not evil, but they also fell from their estates.
Yes.
Like we did. We fell from our state.
Yes.
Does that mean we're evil and demonic?
Now we're trying to find ourselves back to God. Yes. Now we're trying to find ourselves back to God.
So yeah, these beings, they still carry an essence, an aroma, and the atmosphere of heaven, and they still have the ability to empower men to function in the supernatural.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
It's actually very sad because, I mean, they were doing what they were asked to do. And
Yes.
if you are in a place where, I won't say a fallen state, but if you don't have the same ranking that you had, and now all of a sudden you didn't lose what was given to you, because you can still function in that
Realm
or gift that you have, or
in that
whatever.
capability.
Yes. But you just don't have a station to work from, because there's nobody that's giving you like orders.
Yes.
But you know what is right from wrong.
Yes.
So you still have a choice to make. They can still make a choice.
Absolutely.
I believe that. And I think some of them they're rooting for us as well.
Yes.
To,
Yeah.
because that is what God wants. That is God's sole purpose, is for him to have his children, all of his children with him.
Yes.
So I think that they are trying to help us as well, so that they can have their place back in heaven,
Precisely, because going back to what I said, when it comes to all creation is waiting and groaning in anticipation, because the creation was subject to corruption.
Right.
Like I said, the King James actually translates it the creature. Okay, it uses old Elizabethan English, but there might be something there that we've missed because of a mistranslation. The creature, going back to what the New Age is called Gaia. The Earth is a sentient being, which I actually believe it is, but I don't go according to the New Age, concept of that. But the creature was affected.
Yes.
So, if the earth, the creature, the sentient being, the earth was affected, does that mean now it's condemned to hell? No, obviously not. It's going to be redeemed. So some of these beings probably also are waiting for the sons of God to come to manifestation, so that they can also be redeemed.
Right. That is very interesting, all of this.
But we'll carry on with part 2 of our core revelatory discussions about the mysteries of God, the kingdom. And yes, maybe you could share next time about your encounter where Jesus invited you and he said this is the 10th realm, the 10th realm.
Yes.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yes.